All right. Yes. So now on to your boss. Oh, I'm sorry. The boss. Now, I'm going to set this up, but I want you to. There is a big I told you so in this.
I hate to say I told you so.
Coming up here in a second, but let me explain. So if you've been living under a rock for the past like 2 or 3 weeks, Bruce Springsteen, also known as the Boss, did a Super Bowl commercial or big game commercial or whatever with Jeep. I believe the Jeep that he drove in the commercial
I think it was a
was
CJ.
his. I believe it was one from his collection.
Yeah, it was.
Out in the middle of Kansas and Nebraska. Yes. Okay. And so the whole concept of the video was to meet in the middle. And it was it was politically stirring, and there was a lot of buzz around it for that backlash. Reason. Okay. So then Jay and I started talking about this, and if you haven't seen the video, Jeep took it down. You can watch it on our commentary, where we did release a commentary on that video in the middle. You can watch the whole video there, and we encourage you to go do that. We started watching this unfold, and we were talking about the comments on YouTube and how it was not trending well. Meaning, if you release anything on social media, how it trends is a big factor. Is it 70% positive? Is it 80% positive? And most of the it was about 50-50. It was not doing well in terms of people's responses and feedback. And I don't want to get into that so much as I want to get into, me messaging Jay or calling Jay the next day and going, dude, they just took this video down. Holy cow, this is a huge deal. And we had a conversation about that. And, why did Stellantis decide to pull the video? Well, it certainly feels like it was because of all the negative press and the blowback they got out of the actual ad itself. However, news dropped of a DUI Springsteen got. DWI, sorry.
Yes, yep.
In November of 2020 on his motorcycle in a national... no, I don't know if it was a national
park. Somewhere in New Jersey. It was a state park.
Okay.
State park, I think.
Okay. Let's see. Gateway National Recreation Area. Oh, it's a federal park administered by the U.S. National Park Service. Okay. So
there you go. Good eye there.
He stopped to talk to some fans. Somebody gave him a shot of tequila. He accepted. Park ranger witnessed it, pulled him over. Now, okay, all that aside, isn't this a coincidental timing?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And do you suspect that Stellantis possibly knew about this?
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Take it away.
Okay. All right. So when we were having our conversation, you bring to my attention the video has been pulled down, and I'm like, you know what, man? That thing got too political for Stellantis, I believe, and they're gonna just wait. They're gonna pull it down, and I bet you that they're gonna put this on Bruce. They're gonna dig some. They got somebody back there digging some dirt up.
Less than 24 hours before it got pulled down, you were saying this.
I said that. Now, Stellantis came out and made a statement that said that they pulled the video down after the story broke about the DWI. Well, let me tell you something, guys. There was no story broken about the DWI before they pulled that down.
I mean, how does that happen and not make the news wire until the Super Bowl ad, unless somebody wants you to know about it? I mean, they've had 3 months, right?
Right. So, of course, Stellantis comes out and says the right thing, which is, we don't promote condone drinking and driving. We didn't know about this, so we're out of it. That's why we pulled it, and we're wishing Bruce the best. But you can still watch it. Bruce didn't pull it down off of his site. You can watch it there.
Okay.
You can watch it on our site. And the guy who shot the video, it's on his site from what I understand as well. So it's still out there. You can watch it, but it just is not on the Stellantis site. Now, here's what's even more interesting about this. This is why it gives a little bit more cred to what I'm saying. Okay, Springsteen, he did eventually take a breathalyzer. He wasn't going to at first, but he did take a breathalyzer.
I'm so glad you went there. Go ahead.
Okay, so the cop said that he could smell alcohol. That he appeared to be slurring his words just a little bit, and having his eyes look glossy.
Well, he's 71, man.
He's 71 years old.
He's on a
people,
Triumph
okay?
motorcycle in November. It's probably a little chilly in New Jersey.
Little chilly, yeah. And here's the other thing: if you're not a musician and you've never been on stage with a band, to understand what that does to the nervous system, there's a reason why these guys wear ear protection in their ears, but they were not doing that early on. So he's got, there could be some central nervous system things going on with Bruce that causes him to have these things. He did give into a breathalyzer.
Okay. What do we know the results of that?
Yes, we know the results. 0.02 blood alcohol.
And the intoxication threshold is
0.08.
So he was under the legal limit.
He was under the legal limit, yes.
Okay, if that were a regular checkpoint and you take a breathalyzer and they're not...
on your way, dude.
Okay, so...
You're on your way.
Now, I must point out that at the location he was in, alcohol is banned in that area.
But he did not know that. Because
ignorance of the law is not a crime. I mean, it's not an excuse. It's not an excuse. Okay?
But being from the area, he's been there many times before. They made it a point to bring out that in November of 2019, that's when they passed the law when you couldn't do it. Okay?
If you are caught in possession of alcohol, that is, if I'm not mistaken, and I'm no attorney, okay, but I'm going to make a best guess here that the punishment for that would be different than the punishment for driving under the influence or driving while intoxicated.
Right.
Possession of alcohol is different than operating a motor vehicle with alcohol. Right. Okay? So if they're going to charge him for being in possession of alcohol on federal property where it's not allowed, that's one thing. Okay?
Right.
Now, the consumption of alcohol on said property could be another charge. But still, that's not this is a DWI arrest, if I'm not mistaken. Okay?
Right.
So...
you
got a guy that's under the legal limit. He blew. He passed.
He told him exactly what happened.
Yep. And this is a federal case. It's I've been I travel a lot. I go into a lot of national parks. We've got a federal parkway that runs close to us. I've had friends get ticketed on it for speeding. It is a different animal. Okay, I do understand that, but this doesn't really add up to the huge ordeal people are making out of it, especially since it happened in November.
Right. Happened in November before the commercial. I mean, look, let me say this again. We said this about GM and the Nikola deal, okay? You vet. You go through the process of looking into things, man.
Yeah, you pull it. Yeah.
Right. Why did you bring Bruce Springsteen in to begin with? I know why. Because he can send a strong message just by his fan base alone, talking about bringing people together. I mean, he's the Born in the USA guy. He's, all of these things. It made sense. And if you go back to our podcast and you listen to what I said, I was like, it was a cool commercial and everything, but it's a little bit too political, I think, man. And then, lo and behold, they pull it the very next day. Now, Bruce Springsteen is going to be just fine, people. He will be just fine. And and he'll just take his Jeep and trade it in somewhere and go get something else. But I'm telling you right now, it's a shame that the boss was thrown under the bus.
Well,
man.
and look, I understand people's point of view on why maybe this was a bad choice for this kind of a commercial with this kind of message. I get it, okay? And I probably would agree with you to some of the points that I've seen and some of the comments that I've seen. But that's on Stellantis or Jeep for making a bad decision. If Stellantis or Jeep is using a DUI or a DWI to get out of a controversy,
a poor choice,
at someone else's expense, that's not cool. And look, man, you made your bed, you lie in it, okay? You shouldn't have put the boss in a controversial political position where he's, always been very clear where he stands, and then realize it after it airs and you read through the YouTube comments and then try to take it down. I mean, that's yeah.
This plays right into what we've been saying all along, that a lot of these automakers are doing this live polling stuff.
Yeah.
And they're not doing their homework. They're, and again, I don't care, even if this had turned that up, I'm not sure that it would have, I mean, I don't know. I would have taken a look at it and gone, okay, well, no prior record, understand the circumstances. I mean, what if the guy had gone to his daughter's wedding and he had a shot just before he left? I mean, does that make him a bad guy? No, of course not, it doesn't. He was celebrating something. He was in the moment. I'm not condoning it. This is not what I'm doing, but I'm just telling you the circumstances. You put the shoes on your feet, okay? Where would you be at? Does he deserve to have his just name smeared for this? I think he deserves an opportunity, just like anybody else does, to go through the court process and see what happens from there. And, of course, he's got plenty of money, and I'm sure he's got a lot of legal representation to get him through those processes. But, hey, man, Stellantis, period. Bottom line is, you know why you pulled this video. That's all I'm saying. I don't have anything else really to say on that, but they know why they pulled this video.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure it's, not because of the DWI.